to my channel. I'm doing a how to clean your makeup brush tutorial. So here are the things you will need. I like to use the Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo, well, conditioning shampoo. I like to have a Dove cake of soap. I like to have my Napoleon instant brush cleaner, a really good conditioner, and of course your dirty brushes, dirty beauty blenders. The candle is just for the aroma. And I like to have a big towel and a small hand towel. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm starting off with the quick fix, which is the Napoleon Perdis brush cleaner. This is, last time I checked, almost 100% alcohol, so it completely sterilizes your brushes with just a couple of pumps onto a tissue and then back and forth, back and forth. The thing that I love about this is that it dries instantly, but it 100% sterilizes your brushes. It is still really important to do what I'm about to show you, but when you don't have enough time, this is definitely the next best thing. The most important brushes to do this with is the eyeliner brushes, as it does tend to go crusty if you don't clean it straight away. Of course, your concealer brushes and any eye brushes, because you do hold bacteria in your eyes and you don't want to be open to an infection or conjunctivitis. So for my beauty blenders, I like to use this Dove soap. I find that it's quite gentle on brushes and beauty blenders, but it's still powerful enough to give it a nice deep clean. So as you can see, my beauty blender is absolutely disgusting, as it would be after using it every single day. So you want to check that the temperature is a nice lukewarm temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Run it underneath, give it a good squeeze, and then just start using circular motions on the cake of soap until you start seeing some color coming out of it, and a lot of color does come out of it. Give it a really good squeeze and just keep repeating the process. You can also massage the beauty blender through the palms of your hands until the water starts to run clean. You may not get your beauty blenders 100% clean, like all of the color out of them, but at least you know that they are 100% sterilized. And it's also very important to know that you should replace your beauty blenders every 3 months, just like your mascaras. So after I've cleaned all of my beauty blenders, I like to go in and wash my foundation brushes, the ones with the white tips. I do these first. They are duo fiber or synthetic tipped brushes. So you can see that I'm just swirling it on the cake of soap, running warm water over it, and then I move onto my hand, because you can use the grooves between your fingers and your palm to get the product out. Then I like to really work it under the tap and go back onto the soap. So I alternate between the soap and the palm of my hand, and then the water, and then I just squeeze out any excess dirty water. And once I'm happy with the color of the brush and how clean it looks, I take my hand towel, squeeze out the bristles to make sure they're quite dry, and then I use the same hand towel to clean the base of the brush, because there might be some foundation on there. You never know. And then I clean the handle also, and then I pop it over onto the towel, and this is what the towel looks like. So far I've got my beauty blender and my clean foundation brush. Now moving on to concealer brushes. Because these are a smaller brush, you can do more than one at a time. I like to do a couple at a time because it saves time. How many times do I want to save time? So you can see they are so much cleaner now. I'm not going to show you every single brush because that will take forever, but you can just see that I'm just squeezing out the water. That means that they're going to dry a hell of a lot quicker, and then you clean the handle of the brush with the same hand towel. And this is one of the Real Techniques powder brushes, and this is a big mama. So what I'm going to do is the exact same thing with the cake of soap, but I think because this brush is so dense and there is so much room for bacteria to hide, I'm going to do a double cleanse. So the cake of soap first, and then I'm going in with my Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo to shampoo it twice, because then I feel like it cleans every little inch of the brush. Now, for those of you who don't know, sable hair means real hair. So they really do need to be looked after, shampooed and conditioned like you would with your real hair. Otherwise, they can be very dry and they can snap and they can fall all over your face when you're doing your makeup. So I like to do shampoo and conditioner on these brushes, and I like to make sure that I really go in and do them one by one to make sure all of that bronzer is out of the brush. And now it's time for the conditioner. I do like to pop the conditioner on the brushes and then let them sit to the side for a couple of minutes while I clean other brushes. So now that I've cleaned a few other brushes, I'm going back to the 3 that I put conditioner in, and I'm just gently wiping that conditioner out of it and squeezing it through, and they feel a million times softer. So I really do recommend conditioning sable head brushes, so like the dark colored hair. It just makes them so much softer and it does prolong the life of the brush. So if you care about your brushes, give them a little love with some conditioner. So for eye brushes, these are brushes that I use for blending out my crease. So there isn't a lot of color in these, and if there is, it's a quite soft, natural, taupey kind of shade. So I'm washing a bunch of them together because they're not very dirty, and it may look like I'm pressing hard, but I'm really kind of massaging them quite soft. Make sure that when you handle your brushes, you are quite soft because you don't want to ruin them. And just grabbing the hand towel to squeeze out the excess, to clean the handles because there can be a lot of gunk on the handles that you can't see. And then I do a little check over each brush to make sure every single brush is clean. And going ahead and cleaning a bunch of eye brushes again. And now moving on to a different style of eye brush. These are the flat shader brushes or the eyeshadow applicating brushes. So make sure even when you are shampooing them that you are pulling your fingers flat so you are not roughing up the bristles. You need to make sure that when you are also drying it that you are pulling your fingers flat to not disturb the natural grain of the hairs. And now moving on to the super tiny brushes, so eyeliners and lip brushes. I'm doing the exact same thing with these, pretty much checking them one by one and squeezing them with my fingers in a flat movement. And this is all of my brushes, nice and clean. Now what I'm going to do is rearrange them so there's not too many on top of each other because then they would just never dry. I try and do some top to tail so they can dry out both sides, the left side and the right side of the towel. And just a quick little tip for you, if you want your brushes to dry in a beautiful shape, get a small piece of toilet paper or tissue and just roll it like a little sleeping bag, and that way then it will dry in the most beautiful shape and it won't be frayed and disgusting after you've just washed it. And then in the morning, take the little piece of tissue paper, toilet paper off, and it will be so nice and beautifully shaped. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know that these videos can be a little bit boring, but hey, it is really, really important to clean your makeup brushes. I use my Napoleon Perdis instant brush cleaner to clean in between uses. So that's something that I spray onto a tissue and it just gets, you know, eyeliner off or dark eyeshadows off. But I do make sure I clean, deep clean, like I've shown you today, my makeup brushes once a week at minimum. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!